good to be back here on stage after 4 years. I've been doing a lot of Zoom sessions, and I thought I should come in person and meet all of you. But ironically, I'm going to talk about metaverse, which is again virtual sessions, right? But yeah, nevertheless, nothing beats real-world meetings. Happy to be here. What I'm going to do now is, we only have 10 minutes. What I'm going to do is do a role play where I play the role of a customer or a lead who's looking to buy a car. And I have a sales team, who's on WhatsApp using the latest technology, and they can do video calls as well. But I still have a challenge when it comes to making a purchase. So I'm going to talk to them now on the call here and see what they have to do to solve my problem and quicken the sale here, right? So let me talk to these guys first. For the sake of simplicity here, let me explain what's going on here. I have my phone here through which I'm going to talk to the sales team of this potential car seller, and I'm going to share my screen on the big screen up there, where you would see my conversation with the sales team, right? Let me now go ahead and share my screen.
Welcome to New Space.
Wonderful. Looks like you have brought inside the model. If you can look around and see if we are also available.
Yeah, so I think this is the color that I already saw, right? So where are you? So you are here. Okay, so why don't you come around here? See, sure. I think last time when we met, you guys...
Yes.
Hey Abhishek.
Hey Hemanth.
Hey, hi Dabatri. All right,
Hello,
cool. So this is fine, but can you show me how the engine sound looks like? I want to sort of get to
Definitely.
That experience. Yeah.
And also the last time when we met you, you wanted to see the other color options as well.
Yeah.
So we also have that for you to see here, right? So if you can follow me, I'll show you how the engine works, how the interior works, etc.
Okay, all right.
Correct. So can you see the arrows on the door of the car?
Sure.
I would want you to click on it so that you can feel the experience of opening the car for the first time and going inside.
Okay, cool.
So here you can visualize how the interior would look like in real life. But I would also ask you to click this button right here on the engine to kind of see and feel how the car works when it is switched on.
All right, I can see it. So this is the one. Okay. I think I had to reduce the volume here.
So this is pretty much how the headlights work and the interiors are of the car. But coming to the main points, coming to the more exciting thing that you wanted to see is we have several other color options for you to choose from, which I know that the orange was really nice, but you wanted to see what other options we have available. So as you can see this panel right here, we have several color options available here. I would want to go ahead and choose that color for you.
So Datta and Abhishek, if you don't mind, can you come on this side for me?
Yes, absolutely, we can do that.
All right, cool, thanks. Yeah, because it's more convenient this way, yeah?
Yes.
All right, cool. Yeah, so, tell me, okay, so I see a color panel here.
Correct. So these are the color options we kind of provide in this particular model that you chose. You can go ahead and click on the colors to see how it looks like in that rendition of the car.
Can you activate it?
Absolutely. I would
while
be
I
happy
go through
to
this. Can you change it to blue?
Okay. Yes. So this is the blue version of the car, which is named as Royal Blue. It is royal blue in color and it has the glossy finish.
Okay.
We also have a very unique color in this car as well, which is a sea green, army green color. It also comes in a silver, which is a very classic color, looks very sophisticated and nice.
Right.
But this is for the adventurous type of people. This is a red, beautiful color that kind of, takes you ahead or apart from the crowd.
All right. So is this available in stock?
So the red color, if you want to choose, so you will have to wait 2 weeks because it has a waiting time of 2 weeks. But every other color, if you want to choose, we can get it done for you within a week.
Okay, cool.
Right?
So,
but,
yeah.
And I remember the last time when we had a conversation, you were mentioning that, hey, what if I kind of want to change the tire, myself, and if I get into a trouble like that?
Yeah. So, one second. So you're saying that if we assume that the car is being sold, so let me just address here. So this is basically how a sales experience looks like, right? So where within your own home, you can actually use your regular phone, no smart glasses, no VR device or AR device. Your regular phone is what that you can use and bring in a hologram of a car along with the sales guy and have that combined conversation as well, right?
Yes.
So not just from a point of view of sales, but let's say, as a service technician or as a customer who needs to understand how to sort of use some of these and fix stuff on my own, you could do that as well using mixed reality conversations. So, Debatri, can you activate? I think you'll have to mute yourself. Yeah, can you activate the training mode? All right. So here, yeah, can you explain, Abhishek?
Yes.
Sure, Mr. Hemanth. So as you mentioned, the customers itself getting the sales experience but want to learn more about what he or she can do with the help of this mixed reality. For example, today we have picked up a solution where we will teach you how to change tires when you are in trouble.
Can you come around here, Abhishek, if you don't mind, can you come next to the car?
Sure, definitely.
I can't follow where you are at.
Sure, definitely.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead. You're saying.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, as the sales experience looked like, where you were able to understand everything from the sales point of view, we are going to demonstrate right now a simple experience where you would understand how to change the tire of this car with a mixed reality learning. So let me start that for you if you are ready.
Sure. Yeah.
So you would just notice a tire has been marked red. So that is indicating that this is the first step for me to take out the tire and continue with the process. So let me start the first step. And you would notice a tool has appeared in front of you. Now this tool is required to lift the car so that the tire can be changed. So I'll use it.
Can I activate it? I mean,
Sure,
so that I
please
get that
go ahead.
hands-on experience as well, instead of just watching a video, right? I mean, it's as good as watching a video.
Definitely.
So let me activate it. Okay.
Yep. So it's just lifted the car for you, and that's how you're going to do it when you are doing it in the real time.
Understood.
You can go ahead and click on the next step as well, sir.
Okay. So this glowing icon is where I need to click. Okay.
Yes, correct. So these are the bolts that you need to replace in case of changing a tire.
Understood. Great.
This is a very simple experience, Mr. Hemanth. But using this tool, which we are just watching, we can provide customers with the training as difficult as needed for them to self-care their car whenever the time requires. That was a quick experience for you to understand how to change a tire, Mr. Hemanth.
Sure. And there is a board here. What is this?
Okay. This is a board. So right now, as we know, we are collaborating on 3D data, right? We also provide tools where you can collaborate on 2D data. For example, show more about the car, understand more about the car. So right now we are going through a presentation about the car where we are showing you different colors, different size of the car. It can be any material which can be uploaded by a sales agent.
I think I can interact with it as well.
Yes, definitely.
It's really good. You saved me a trip to the dealership. You just look around. Cool. All right. Thank you, guys. Is there anything else that you want to show, which is exciting?
Not right now.
So let's just see how the expressions work. If you can speak directly here, we have been seeing on Atom. Can we just see how your expressions work if you speak directly in Atom? Because we were using Zoom as well earlier. If you speak directly in Atom, I want to see if the expressions come out well. This is reality today. We could actually start talking using regular phones and in your own homes without any smart glasses, and you can have those conversations assisted with our AI or just with real people as well. Now, so far you have not seen AI at all in this. Some of you may be wondering, like, where's the AI here, right? right? So AI is basically where, from a load balancing standpoint, if the agent is not available to help the customer, the avatar that you see here can be completely taken over by AI, which will address the questions completely in a mixed reality conversation. But if you want to effect a sale, is when the AI can send a message to an actual agent who can take over and talk to the customer. Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity. Thanks for the patient listening.
My name is Rrahul. I represent Expoodle. And my other friend just now got some people from Bangalore or his office, wherever that is. I'll try to get you into the metaverse. Okay? So what I've got here as setup is as soon as we have the casting started here, Jyoti. So Meta is the parallel world. We're interacting now physically. There is still a lot of opportunity for people who cannot visit here and still can be a part of an interactive environment. So we are a company that makes experiences, and experiences is what it matters. So what I'm going to do now to start with, in my session is 15 minutes, so I will split that into two. In the first one, let me take you through the journey of Metaverse, how it started and where is it heading. The second session is what I will start, where I will take you through and maybe have a couple of you people have experienced this on different headsets. So as we move ahead from here, how are we going to collaborate? And there are going to be many ways by which we will collaborate. So collaboration in business, collaboration in when we design a product, collaboration is when we do this kind of conferences, collaboration is when we want to just talk to our loved ones. And while we want to do all of that, how about doing that in the place of your choice? So what we've done here today is that we've created an experience which is almost as likely as good as we could from the stage side on this metaverse. And all these people here are some of those people from our network, some of the people whom have been invited by the Mint team. So creating those digital twins of places is what's happening today. Exhibitors want to go to certain places of exhibitions which are famous. Conferences have to happen in places which are very popular. And while, of course, people physically can go, there is also an opportunity, like I said, for people who cannot go physically, could be visiting that place of interest through a virtual system. So one of the things that is mostly and quite often asked to me is the metaverse only available on these headsets called Oculus? This is a question that many people ask me. The answer is no. Metaverse is an experience that works on computer, mobile, a headset, and even the HoloLens, which is mixed reality. We'll talk about mixed reality shortly. So let's start with the true applicability of from a today's context point of view. When we started speaking with the Mint people and we spoke about the AI Summit, I would like you to know that most of the metaverse's experiences and the way the users behave into that metaverse is now started to be captured within the system. And I'm aware of a lot of people who are using that data to arrive at a more sustainable navigation in those environments. Presuming that I have a character of my choice, and that character or the avatar, I want that avatar to be having legs, the height that I want, the height based on the picture I upload for myself. All of those things are being learnt by the systems now, and we are seeing more and more AI coming into play in this particular segment too. Mr. Bindra spoke about whether can AI draw. I think, yeah, it can make it easy to draw. So a lot of 3D assets that we are creating today within the environments are created or could be utilized more I would say, more and more in terms of, better and better every time as we continue to build them. In this particular instance of what you see here, let's just go back, Jyoti, a little bit so we can see the audience. So we are live streaming us in the metaverse right now. And while we are live streaming ourselves, this is also online. So I saw a lot of people in the queue, who are wanting to come into this particular view. Since I have muted this on the computer, but even the voice is sort of, getting streamed here. And a couple of gestures here, that have been introduced most recently on multiple platforms, where people can start to even do a couple of different types of gestures. Can you, please? So there is a moment of joy. Okay? There's no moment of sorrow, by the way, in Metaverse. I'm yet to find people, cry here. Every gesture is a good gesture. That's all it is. Lot of rumor, on Metaverse too, with personal security and all of this, things in the different kinds of environments is happening. But I think for organization, it's a great opportunity. The Mint team today has the available asset not just for this particular event in this hotel. They could most likely use it at any other event that they do and continuously reuse this environment as we move ahead. Similarly, businesses can also use it for different types of things. The other part, like I said, where the applicability of metaverse is what we'll talk. One of the top 5 consulting firms reached out to us and said they would like to have their employees engage with each other. And one of the problems they face is when the employees come on the Zoom call or they come on any other Teams call, they do not switch on the camera. Well, it's true. So I'm doing an engagement or a employee engagement, sort of exercise. I've got all my people in my team working towards this for many, many weeks. I've got 500 people with only 30 people on camera. 470 doesn't want to. The matter of fact is, people don't want to show their faces on camera, which is fair. But when you make an interactive session like that, they interact, they anyways feel good, they anyways can talk to each other. This may be a better way than simply asking anybody to go and switch on the camera. Well, switching on the camera is one part. I think engaging was more important. So there's a lot of engagement one can create. The other thing that they wanted us to do is, and while the conversations happened, initially about the things that we can do, it ultimately turned out to be a R&R program. So not only that, they have utilized metaverse in their internal systems to do different types of engagements. They moved on to doing R&R. Now they want to introduce gamification into the same environment. Because all those games that they're running on the LMS systems are all 2D static. So the solution is that, hey, can you go to the zone we created where, go back and inside, Go to the Expoodle room. It's right there. Great. We've got some people there. This is the room that we've built here, right here. And after my session, you're all most welcome to go and experience all of what I'm talking to you here in that room with my team over there. One of the opportunity, anybody would like to be a part of the session right now, please let me know. We'll send one headset to you. Anybody, sir? Dealer meets going forward in businesses. One of the most beautiful things that we did for one of the very large aerospace companies is when we took their 3D models, and we placed them, those 3D models, in a similar environment as like their office. So people could actually come into the environment, go inside, and then play around with that product design, the 3D model. Like my other friend who was showing the car on augmented reality just now. and this was beautiful, with all those avatars coming real time and all that, very, very innovative. But similarly, if that car comes into this environment, then all of you in this room could simply log in using a computer or, like I said, the other devices, and then actually go and get that car and sort of work on that car. You can even go to an extent where you can paint it or paint it basis what the color you want to. And hence, now and going forward, metaverses have a huge applicability on improving the productivity both internally as well as externally. Yeah, so internal productivity from training perspective, external productivity from a more collaboration perspective. Companies who are into product design, companies who are essentially wanting their people to collaborate, closely, and the good thing is that if I am, let's say for example, running a training session, or any kind of an assignment, I give it over to people, I need not really go and tell them, hey, this meeting is only from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. This is a 24/7, 365 days environment, right? You can just simply tell a guy, hey, please come over. One of the most recent, this is something which I'm still wanting to do. One of the most interesting examples I got this week from a long-standing friend, a mentor to me, is one of the most intelligent TA professionals that I know. And he said that when we hire people, and they're hiring 1,000 people a month, and these are campus folks, okay? One of the problems, he said, we face is that we cannot engage with them for 6 months. And so essentially, over a period of time, people slip away, They just continue to go and, look at other opportunities. He said, is it possible that I can create my digital twin of the office, have those people from campus log into the system, and continually do that for the next 6 months? So essentially what he was saying is, hey, when we do an office party, we'll do the party here. When we go do any kind of other program, in the office where maybe any kind of a town hall, we load it here. And when you do all of that here, someone who is going to join you 6 months later continues to see the culture of the organization and stays connected. So my friends, metaverse is not future. Metaverse is present. Metaverse is happening. You are presently in metaverse as we speak, right? I think there is just a huge opportunity for each one of us. I think AI does contribute a lot in terms of what we do. And every single day, I am learning more and more about AI in metaverse. So anybody has any questions, because my time is over. Anybody has any questions? Yeah, please, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for the insightful session here. There was one question I had. We can see that metaverse is more like another world, I would say, where people can come and interact. But is this world connected to the real world, in the sense that in case we want to interface it with the real applications? Let's say, like, we are from the banking sector, right? So if we kind of create a metaverse kind of a branch activity, and there, customer would want to do, on a kiosk or something, which is again in a metaverse state. But then that integrates with our applications, and we can have a direct connect with them. So is that a possibility?
The customer, so absolutely. I'm just thinking physical world to a metaverse, we are connected. What you see here was being streamed on the metaverse. But if the streaming is your factory operations, which are 24/7, right? It also can be streamed over here. So it really depends on what and how and where does it intersect.
Okay, it's not about streaming. It's not about getting the real world into metaverse, but it's like getting the metaverse into the real world. It's the opposite. Running our operations using metaverse.
Yeah, absolutely. So now and over the next few years, you will see more applicability or more solutions where you will essentially design your products and services in the metaverse. Imagine one thing. You are, say, a manufacturing company, okay, right? You're a casting company, and you're making some kind of a cast where you want to know, okay, different types of salts and metals and alloys and all that you're going to have. If you have to do that in a lab, you need those physical elements, right? And if you do it on a metaverse, what you would do is actually, with the help of these Oculus guns, I could actually go in. Now I can select, okay, choose this much of zinc, choose this much of this, choose this much of, this alloy, and put it over there, and the formula will work. It'll actually tell me whether this particular alloy will work or the cast will work or not.
Right. I think that's where the metaverse should take us to.
Yeah.
So that's where more of an applicability will come into picture.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we do not need a physical resource to be in the metaverse. You would be able to go create or design new products. You want to design a bottle of water. You want to design this, specs, for example. You can have these elements in the metaverse virtually and still be able to design and have this particular, specs worn by an avatar to see how it looks, which could be avatar of yours. So essentially, more and more people will move into this particular part, this side of business, yeah?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, yeah. So last question, because my time is, yeah. I can take the question later, but thank you very much, gentlemen, for giving me your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And welcome to Metaverse. Don't go from there. You can see our booth over there and experience things, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Atul Rai. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Staqu Technologies. And we started our journey with targeting homeland security. I mean, that's why I'm not doing any performance on that front, because we're targeting security and safety. And we are working with 9 state police forces. And of course, then we further expanded in different other areas. So I'll just give a brief about ourselves. So we started in 2015 as an AI company. When we say we are an AI company, we have done 25 plus research papers and 13 patents now we have been and we are currently working on 20,000 plus cameras. So targeting different safety and security protocols. I'll just directly start with the problem statement. So we have a product called Jarvis. So Jarvis is an audio video analytics technology which is using images and videos to solve the problem statement in security and safety. So first start with the security part, right? When we talk about India, and every hour we are having 300 murders, 300 IPC crimes, 100 murders, and many similar kind of crimes are happening in a way that 70% criminals are repetitive. So I'm doing crime, I'm going to jail, I'm coming out of bail, and then I'm again doing the crime. The thing which is common is my face, right? So how to identify such criminals? And this is where we started our journey. So from now onwards, I'm covering those stories first time, which we have solved using facial recognition in India. We have identified so far 10,000 criminals, 8 terrorist module got busted. So the first case, of course, we solved in Alwar. And this is the first crime which we solved in 2015, I believe. That is the face we got. Someone was talking about generative adversarial network, GAN, right? So this is the use case of GAN, a blurred image being modified to an enhanced part, where you have a blurred face, you enhanced it, you perform a facial recognition, you identified the criminal. So this is how we are using facial recognition technology in an enhancement manner on the cameras which are just 2 megapixel. So when you talk about India, when you talk about Bharat, which is in Alwar, which is in Aurangabad, Azamgarh, Meerut, right? This is the Bharat where do not have a camera everywhere. So if you get blurry images from some place, can you use to identify those crimes which is happening there? Currently we are managing 45 lakh criminal records. We are the only organization which is having such a huge number of criminal data in the country. The next part is the murder which I am showing you in the Amritsar. This murder happened in the daylight in front of the camera. And the target was to identify this criminal, right? So this is another challenging task because again you have 2 megapixel camera, the face is very blurry and you have to identify the criminal, right? So this is something we identified. You will be confused that 2 guys are the same, right? But AI was not. And we identified this guy in 2017. And in that way, we are solving the problem statement in security. So when we say security, we are doing security. We are solving the problem using GAN. We are solving the problem using AI. The problem which is there in India, the problem which is happening in every hours, right? Missing personnel, dead bodies, murders, IPC crimes. So this is how we started our journey in the security side. These are the certain cases. We have solved 10,000 criminals, 8 terrorist modules got busted so far. We're also winner of National Startup Award from the Government of India in 2020. The next part, of course, we started with the security, then we further expanded ourselves to the safety side. So safety is more like we are now, very common term, safe cities, smart cities, those who are following now. Everywhere we are putting cameras, right? And if we talk about camera, this is how a fancy command center looked like. A number of screens are there, everything is fine. But to be honest, very useless. You can't even find a single incident in this particular kind of a thing, right? So human brain, which is working like not like a machine, right? It can focus on a particular topic not more than 15 seconds, right? You can think of yourself, right? So how you'll be managing such kind of a video streams? If you talk about Delhi, I think they have more than 80,000 cameras. So I mean, human can't do that. And India sold around 3 crore cameras in 2019, right? So it means, I mean, human will not be able to do any kind of a security or safety monitoring in the near future. And that's where we brought safety as a protocol. Again, I'll put the first, okay. This is one of the smart city where a crime against a woman is happening and the real-time alert is coming. So these are the use cases we are trying to solve, where you are just identifying if something is happening in front of camera, you need not to have a human to get that alert. You are getting the GPS location of the position of the camera, you are knowing that event is happening, and you are basically giving it real time to the dial 100 vehicles or similar kind of a response system there, right? In the same way, this is one of the borders where people throw drugs from one side to the other side, right? It's very so small object. I mean, even I'll be sitting and seeing that, maybe I'll miss it, right? But AI will not miss it. So this is the another problem statement we are solving here, where we are trying to identify the intrusion of different type, whether it's an object, whether it's in a drone, or whether it's in a person. And we are doing currently one of the very sensitive thing, UP prison. 3,000 cameras, 70 locations, 800 kilometer stretch, and we are solving the problem of intrusion there. Next part, of course, when you talk about camera is also streaming audio data. Can we use that? Maybe this camera is there, right? So maybe that camera is not able to see me, but my audio is going. If I'm screaming nearby, can my camera tell to the command center that someone is screaming there or some violence is happening? So we started using the audio data as well to classify the scene. And that is the next part we brought, and of course it is also live in many of our customers we are working with. So this is how we are using the audio data, and that's why we call ourselves audio video analytics technology. Moving to the next part, not only the security safety. I think the first time in the world, I believe, someone is targeting election using cameras. So whenever election happens, you always say EVM got hacked, right? So we partnered with Bihar Election Commission to target basically the EVM machines. So whenever the EVM machines are counting the votes, parallel, it's a counting, not the voting. So whenever these EVM machines countings are happening, cameras are seeing them and converting those into the report part. So let's say as a human, I am uploading my data from the counting center. At the same time, camera is calculating its sort, and both are being matched in the real time. So this is how it looked like. Camera is looking at whatever the number of votes are coming that is being live. It was 380 counting centers, Bihar Panchayat election last time. And we were targeting 1,200 cameras. In real time, real reporting were happening in the Bihar Election Commission. First time I think it is happening in the election side. And the impact is like 90% of the candidate lost their election, right, in the Panchayat. And of course, this is we're targeting Bihar. The Bihar where you don't even have a good internet connection in certain places. We talk about Gaya, Buxar, and Muzaffarpur, right? So we are trying to solve the problem statement which is in Bharat, not something which might be coming in future, right? Before you guys make your mind that we are a Sarkari company, so no, we are also working with private sector companies. So we are working with manufacturings. So JK Cement, like the accounting of the cement baggages, pilferage, preventing that, loading, unloading time, how much a vehicle is taking time in terms of the loading of the product, and of course, number plate recognition, safety gear identification, all are happening on existing cameras. No, nothing is needed from you. Just a camera, which you already are having currently, right? As I said, everyone is having camera, but we are using it in a dumb manner. I mean, something happens, we go and see what happened, right? Camera should work as a third eye. If it is happening, it should be real time. The second part, we're also working with retail industry. So retail is fighting with e-commerce. They don't have any data. They don't even know that how many people came into this, not even this hotel might be knowing that how many people are inside this particular room, right? So camera can help you to identify the footfall of this thing, right? Also the gender analytics, how many female, male are sitting over here. How basically the seat occupancy is there, which is important because you are fighting with the e-commerce, which have every data. and you are a retail store, you don't even have a single data. You just have one data, sales data. So we are helping those companies also. And in infrastructure, airports, the crowd analytics, we are doing violence detection. You can see the blurriness of the camera. Again, it's 2 megapixel camera, 280p stream. And identifying the violence in such kind of a video stream is super difficult task. Number plate recognition. In crime, of course, when you work, you have to prepare such kind of a thing where you can identify a blurry number plate also. So we are working in those kind of area. Footfall analysis, suspicious person alert. We are doing these things on the alert, on the airports. So let's say you are coming with a bag, and now you're being seen without bag. So can we get alert on that? So these are the things we are doing on the real-time camera. We are covering every part of the basically ecosystem, whether it's a government, election, safety, security, retail, manufacturing. So in real sense, we are democratizing the AI, for everyone. So this is all about us. We talk about ourselves. We are working with 9 state police forces, covering 45 lakh criminal record, some of the intelligence agencies. We are working with manufacturing. We are working with retail industries. We have partners like Intel, Microsoft, Google as a cloud partner or hardware partner. And apart from that, we're working with many different other companies like Mahindra Defense, L&T Defense as a OEM for smart city and safe city kind of projects. So this is all about us.
My name is Jitesh Lalwani. I'm the founder of the quantum computing startup, Artificial Brain. Demo day is a very special day. Everything will stop working. So initially I faced problem with the internet, then the code, and then with my charging, but finally it is resolved. And hopefully we will have a successful demo today. So today I would be demonstrating our novel algorithm, which helps to find the optimal locations of EV charging stations using quantum computers and AI. So first of all, what are quantum computers? So quantum computers are machines or computers which are based on quantum principles such as superposition and entanglement. Explaining them is out of the scope for this meeting, but really nobody understands them yet. Classical computers have this basic unit which is considered as bits, which can be 0 or 1 at a single time, whereas quantum computers have something called as qubits. So they can be 0 and 1 both at the same time. So because of this principle, quantum computers can process large amount of data in a short amount of time. So just an example, if we have 2 classical bits, they can represent 4 states, which is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1, whereas quantum computers can represent all those states at a single time. So what is this application and why we have worked on this? So given that many people are purchasing electric vehicles, and the cost for installing chargers are still high, it is very important to find the optimal locations for placing EV chargers. Now the problem with this is that there are so many potential locations, right? For example, if we consider Delhi, there are so many localities. If we consider this particular area, so the problem is how would you place EV chargers so that it can cover maximum population? Would you place the EV charger 10 meter from here? Would you place the EV chargers 20 meter from here? And what should be the ideal location between 2 EV chargers? So if you consider the search space and the constraint, it's a very hard problem to solve for classical computers. In technical terms, this is also known as NP-hard problem. So we have created this algorithm which will help customers to find the optimal locations using quantum computers. So I would be demonstrating our algorithm today. So our algorithm can search a very large space, which is 8.5 into 10 raised to 15, which is this number. I even don't know how to say this number. It's a very big number. And the results would be written by an actual quantum computer in less than 3 seconds. And after that, we use AI, specifically genetic algorithms, to improve the results of quantum computers as high as 40%. So why we use this step as of now is because quantum computers are not mature enough that they will give optimal results. So you need a combination of quantum and AI. Okay, so this is our UI platform, which can be considered as a quantum SaaS platform. Here, users only have to give high-level inputs in the form of CSV or Excel. For example, I am uploading a CSV which consists of 182 gas stations in San Francisco area. So these are basically potential EV chargers, and the goal is that 10 of them would be converted into EV chargers so that they can cover maximum population. So once user gives input, they can just click on run on quantum computer. So now this would be running on an actual quantum computer from D-Wave. Here, as you can see, the total time is less than 3 seconds, and in fact the QPU time, which is quantum processor time, is just 41 milliseconds. So it was able to search 8.5 into 10 raised to 15 combinations in less than 42 milliseconds. So why I'm saying this number is because we have 182 gas stations, and out of them 10 charging location has to be identified. If you see 182 combination combinatorial of 10, this is the number that you get. So in the interest of time, I have already run this post-processing algorithm, and this is the output which user will see. So the algorithm will give latitude and longitude of an actual area. This is the novel algorithm that we have created, and this is the framework. So as I mentioned, we are using generic algorithms as a post-processing step to improve the results of quantum computer as high as 40%, and we have also published a research paper on that. So thank you.